What's up everybody, Ghost Girl 007 here, and today's video is going to be a ghost story. Today we're still reading I Am Haunted, Living in the Life Through the Dead, a Zak Bagans book. So now we're on page 36, and I'm intrigued. We're just going to start from the top. So we're reading this page here. There's nothing in this page just yet to look at yet. Religious, and I'm intrigued by holy water burning the skin and a cross to liberating a demon. It goes much deeper than ghost hunting for me. We're getting at the source of spirits and the afterlife. So I owned the house and was doing a bunch of interviews. This is about like the Demon House. They'll talk about that documentary, The Demon House. So this is about that. That's what we're on right now. In a way, it was good to have name in the media because the family, the priest, the police officers, and everyone else who had witnessed these events saw that I was serious about getting to the bottom of what had happened. It kind of put them in shock, too, because the press associated them with me in a lot of articles. That should have made it easy for me to get a hold of them and learn their stories, right? No, I did everything I could think of to contact them and got nowhere. Only Father Michael, the priest who had performed the exorcism, would talk to me. He even thought it was great that I had bought the house. So I sent him an exclusive agreement to make a documentary film, which he signed. Owning the rights to his story was a huge coup. So I decided not to wait and to make the film immediately. I hired Matt Mergratz, I think I said it right, to be my production manager, some camera crewmen from LA, and Jay Wisely and Bill Tolley for electronics. While we were in pre-production, my main focus was to interview everyone who had been involved as quickly as possible, before any sharks could lock them up and steal them away from me. Right away, I had an issue. The obstacle to this project never stopped popping up. I was contacted by a producer who said that he had worked on a paranormal movie. Our conversation was very vague at first. I didn't want to play my hand, so I left things open until I could figure out his angle. He said that he loved my story about buying the house and wanted to talk again later, so I hung up, thinking nothing more about it. But it wouldn't be the last time I would hear from him. I went back to making my film quickly, learning that everyone's ego had swollen since the story broke. So much attention was being paid to the people involved that they started shopping their stories around to the highest bidder. This is America, and I get it, but it was frustrating nonetheless. Everyone was hard to talk to. The Indianapolis Star wouldn't let me use Marcia's article in the film, and I wasn't allowed to interview her. She offered to meet me at the house to have the Star write about my making the documentary, but it doesn't work that way. This is a two-way street. You help me and I help you. They gave me all this attention for buying the house, but then wouldn't allow me the courtesy of an interview or give me permission to use her article in the film. So I flushed that plan. Next up was Captain Charles Austin of the Gary Police Department, who was one of the first officers to respond to the family. He had investigated along with Child Protective Services because the kids were going to school with bloody noses and not acting right. CPS took the kids away and went to the home with Captain Austin to interview the family. This is when they told them that they were possessed by demons, and Captain Austin didn't believe them for a second. He thought they were making it up, and can you blame him? But when he had his own experience, after walking back to his police car to drive away, his AM FM radio came to life with a very high static, and a deep demonic voice came through saying, "You in there." He was on the phone with another police officer back at the demon house when it happened, and the other officer heard the voice too. That officer also saw an apparition in the house. So suddenly the police believed the family's claims of the demonic possession because they saw it themselves. Later, Captain Austin would label the house a portal to hell. I talked with Captain Austin, and man, is he a character. He's funny, laughs a lot, and is a pleasure to be around. One day he told me that another producer had contacted him. It turned out to be a guy I know, which shows you how competitive the entertainment industry is. Everyone was going after these people, including me, to be honest, but there was a difference in our objectives. Hollywood sees the money in the story, and I just want to tell the story. My production isn't designed for maximum profit. It's bare bones so I can capture what happened. After talking with Charles Austin many times, I got the impression that he would give me an on-camera interview, as would the landlord. At that point, I had a filming schedule, a crew, a lot of equipment, 3 of the participants in the house. Immediately the family was the priority, but no one had heard from them, probably because everyone wanted the life rights to their story. I couldn't compete with the offers that I knew were being tossed at them anyway. Inside Edition wanted to do another interview with me in the house, but I wasn't sure because I hadn't done a proper investigation yet. We were in our 3rd or 4th day of filming background shots and superficial pieces, and at one point something dark happened. I think I saw a demon attack someone. I let into the house. It shocked me and the crew. I had no idea what was waiting for us in that house, so there was no way I was going to let reporters in. Besides, it would have been impossible of me to give them access when I knew that there was a risk of bodily harm. I might as well have invited them to go over Niagara Falls in a barrel. So I kept inside Edition on the porch and did an interview with them there. And right away, I wasn't feeling well. Not myself at all. I didn't know if I was sick, tired, or what, but I was foggy and unable to concentrate. It felt like everyone was speaking in slow motion. I didn't want to be there, but I kept telling myself to be professional and fight through it. You can Google that interview and see how out of it I was. Later, the crew told me that I was different every time we went to that place. Even if we were just putting in a smoke detector or walking around, I seemed to get meaner and more short-tempered. I've been around a lot of bad energy, and I've fought with a few nasty demons, but this place was different, so much that it actually made me stop filming for a while. One day we were troubleshooting a camera system. No filming was going on except for a surveillance camera when I suddenly went off on a crew member for no reason. I was shouting at him and things got physical. This man weighs 200 pounds and I picked him up and pinned him against a wall. Something I'm not sure wait a minute. Here, I'm going to show you this thing when he was doing the interview. It's like doing an interview with Inside Edition at the Demon House. And this is a picture from when he went to do the interview. So, something I'm not sure I could do on my own. Later, he said that I seemed to have superhuman strength and didn't look like myself when it happened. So many things have happened to people in that house. Workers removing molds, plumbers, the building inspector. Everyone has some type of experience whether there or after they leave. Strange things even happen to people I interviewed for the documentary after they left the house. To be honest, I feared for my life a few times there. Something kept telling me that I had to do this, but I don't want to sustain permanent damage. There's something about the house that I've connected with, for better or worse. After I pinned that guy up against the wall, I wanted to leave, but I didn't want to leave. I remember being at the front door, looking back inside and seeing a tall, dark figure standing at the threshold of the kitchen, leading down to the basement. The same type of figure the police officers saw. This is beyond anything I'd ever witnessed before. This is beyond the power of human spirits. This house may not be a portal to hell, but it is a portal to something that is powerful and evil. At that point, I don't think I realized what I had gotten myself into. For most investigations, I can show up, do my job, come into contact with human spirits, go home, have a lockdown hangover for a day or two, and I'm fine. This place is different. This place was different. It's indescribable. Something in this house is aware of me and uses me. An incident that occurred a few weeks later confirmed this belief. A woman who claims to have lived in the house in the 1980s saw me on the news and reached out to my producers. After we validated that she had in fact lived there as a teen, we agreed to meet her at the house. She wanted to go inside, but I was hesitant. It was an open investigation where bad things had happened to children, and this woman had her family with her. It was dangerous, but she was insistent. She had lived there for many years, so finally I caved, and we all went in together. At first it seemed harmless. She showed me which rooms was hers, and we spent some time talking about what it had been like to live there. She even revealed that she had nightmares as a kid, and when she had a specific nightmare, someone she knew would die the next day. I honestly wasn't surprised given how evil this place is. Then we headed downstairs to the basement, but as we moved through it, something happened to the woman's leg, like something hit her or a dog bit her. She said, "Ow," and turned to her son to yell at him, but he was 10 feet away and had nothing to do with it. She was angry. "Why the hell did you do that?" she spat. It was a strange moment, and she immediately went upstairs and left the house. The visit pretty much ended right there. Days later, she called to say that her daughter was possessed and hadn't been the same since being in the house. Apparently, her daughter tried to kill herself and her mom just a few days after I met them. An act that was totally unlike her. Even worse was that she called me from the ER in Minneapolis, where her daughter was still being treated for this. This was it for me, a punch in the gut, a slap in the face, and a kick in the groin all at once. I was in deep, really deep. I'd bought a portal to hell that had some sort of guard dog demon prowling around it, and it shook my self-confidence. It's like deciding to hang out with a bad crowd and see them do bad things and knowing you don't belong there. Your first instinct is to look for a way out. But then I remembered that I was stronger than that. I had to be there. I had to do this. I had to see what was going on in this house and document it. I felt responsible for allowing these innocent people into the house, and I'll never be able to take that back. But I could make it right, too. I could fight the darkness that had set up this awful situation. It was the demon's will. It pursued me to let a new family into the house, or pursued me to let another person into the house, so that it could do damage to them. And I wasn't strong enough to stop it. Well, that won't happen again. I bought this portal to hell, and it's too late to get my money back, so I am all in. There are no refunds when it comes to fighting evil. But the challenges are constant. Around this time, I discovered that Father Mike had signed a contract with another producer, just 4 days after signing one with me, and it hit the media immediately. So I called him and reminded him that he had signed an exclusive agreement with me, and exclusively was implicitly outlined. He said that he wanted to do a documentary with me and a Hollywood feature film with the other guy, and he didn't see a problem with doing both. I explained that he couldn't. There's more legal information that I can't write about, but the point is that he signed a contract to be a part of my movie and also wanted to be part of a separate movie, which was a violation of my contract. Father Mike and I had a good talk, but suddenly I got a call from the other producer while I was at the house. He immediately said that I would better watch it because I didn't know what I was getting myself into, which I took as a threat. He belittled me over and over again on the phone and tried to bully me to get out of the picture. He kept throwing out the amount of money that his movie had made to make me feel small, but it had the opposite effect. I hung up the phone and dug my heels in for a fight. Money changes people, and I can say that with the benefit of experience on my side. This guy threw his money around like it was morals, and he was a better person than me because he had more. That logic doesn't work. That's like saying the sun revolves around the earth. I suddenly felt like I was in a different movie where I was the protagonist trying to tell the story while a big money antagonist tried to stop me. I wasn't flinching. You have to be extremely dedicated to your story as a documentary filmmaker. You have to be constantly aware of new developments. You have to learn how to pursue those developments and find an ending that helps explain or expand on the original story. It's those different canals that lead off of the main river that add interest and credibility instead of telling the same story that everyone's already heard. You run into obstacles and barriers, and you have to get through them to get what you want. When you do, you gain respect as a filmmaker. Not everyone has the tendency to make a great film. The barriers that have been thrown in front of me since I bought the Demon House have been incredible. I feel like an amazing explorer trapping a new unknown spider that everyone wants to see, but I can't let them see it until I know what it can do. Inside Edition pressured me over and over again to get inside the house because they wanted to be the first to take cameras in. But I had just witnessed something extraordinary, and since I owned the house, I knew I'd be putting their camera crew in jeopardy if I let them in. As I write this book, I'm midway through filming my documentary about the house. There are so many more things that have happened that I wanted to talk about, and so many more details that I'd like to share, but it's complex and dangerous. Looking for the Demon House movie to come out in 2015. Which it did. If you want to watch it, it should be on like Hulu and different things like that. But for now, we'll just stop there for now. And if you like more videos like this and stuff, just like and comment in the comments down below and subscribe. Until next time, guys, let's keep up with the spooks, shall we?